We are back. What are we talking about today?
Navigating the holidays. We just had a really good talk with the members, and this is a really hard time of year.
Yeah, it is. The holidays, we're all trying to look and feel and perform as amazing as we can, which is why we wanted to have this talk, because we want to have some tips and strategies for keeping people on track to the best of our abilities, right?
Yes, at the end of the day, all we're looking for is we want to feel good as often as we can.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Especially in this really stressful time of year.
Yeah, and the way we stress that is usually trying to get as many days under your belt of doing the right thing as possible so that you feel really good and you have that momentum to continue to do the right thing. And at the same time, we are in the holidays, so we do want to enjoy ourselves a little bit and enjoy our time with family. We just got to be aware that it's a slippery slope. So if I decide to go off, ideally it's consciously, but if we go off, there's a potential for some of us that it's hard to get back on.
Exactly. So if we do go off, what we want to do is be a participant and being able to get right back on.
That's right. So today we've got some tips and strategies on staying on, and then also some recipes and things that we can share with you. So.
Yeah, some recipes that you can still enjoy the things you like, but they're made with a little better ingredients.
That's right. Absolutely.
So to help everybody, we came up with a 4-step process.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff we want to talk about right now.
For sure. Yeah, it's a super solid process, and we've used it with ourselves. We've used it with other people. And so let's just talk about those. So the first step is, as we're in this situation where we're at a decision point and we have some temptation or some craving or some urge, or we're in a family situation and there's some things in front of us, we just want to have a conscious participation in this process. And the first step in this is thinking about what it is that you want, what you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. Yeah, just remembering that you do have some health goals and some priorities, but I guess just being aware of those things.
The things that you want. So maybe as a first step, getting very clear on what it is that you actually want with yourself. How do you want to look? Yeah. How do you want to feel? How do you want to perform? How do you see that optimal version of yourself in the future? What kind of person is this, and what kind of decisions is this person making on a regular basis? And if you don't have that kind of information, like if you don't have your own vision statements or affirmations or positive statements or personal mission or vision statement or something like that, this would be a good time to kind of come up with that.
Completely. It gives you a clear path. If you don't know what you want, I think that's a really good thing to have in place. That's something that can help you make the right choices in those really kind of sticky moments. But if there's nothing really guiding you on your way, it's way harder to make those choices. In fact, they're almost unconscious.
Yep. So having a personal vision statement, mission statement, or what it is that you're trying to accomplish with all this, that's really good leverage for helping you make the right decision in those difficult moments. Right?
Exactly.
So the first step is getting clear on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and if you're not sure about that, if you don't have that, then we have some little questions that we can prompt you with as part of these handouts, right?
Yes.
The second step is something super useful. We use it for all our little things that we're working with, and that is what we call using tomorrow for today. So we want to notice that urge or craving in the moment, and then just pause and be present with it. Yes. Like actually notice that craving or urge or temptation or whatever it is. And just that pause in and of itself and acknowledging that temptation or that urge or that craving really kind of changes things for a lot of people. When you start to see it happen and you're like, okay, here I am. I'm in this moment. Now is my decision time. What am I going to do? For a lot of people, that's a game-changing situation.
Totally. You just become aware, and you then think of, how do I want to feel tomorrow?
Yep.
And these decisions that we make today definitely affect how we're going to feel tomorrow.
Yep. So a really good way to look at this is using tomorrow for today would be pause with that temptation, that urge, that craving, that decision moment. Think about, if I make this decision that might be suboptimal, I pretty much know how it's going to make me feel. So sit with that for a moment and think about, like, how am I going to feel tomorrow? Maybe it's some bloating, some low energy, maybe I'm going to be disappointed in myself or something like that. So sometimes that can help you make a better decision. But on the flip side of that, you can also think about, how do I want to feel tomorrow? If I make the right decision, how's it going to feel to crawl into bed tonight knowing that I had a clean day? How am I going to feel tomorrow when I wake up? Which for me, usually if I make all the right decisions, I'm tight, lean, clean, I feel really vibrant and way well rested or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so that's what we mean by using tomorrow for today. Third step, I know you're really big on this. This is sticking to your routine.
Yes.
Sticking to the things that we know make us feel good, especially if you're traveling or you're out of your comfort zone or your normal, life situation. You want to stick to those things that make you feel good. So getting up at the same time, really important for your circadian rhythms, making sure that you keep that wake time and going to bed time consistent. And then your morning routine, if you've got a walk, if you've got like a little devotion or meditation, definitely keeping to your workout, right?
Yeah, just staying with those little things. And you don't have to have everything that you always do or as long as you always do, but keeping with the pattern can set up. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to just feel as best we can. That's going to help us enjoy our family members a little bit better. It's going to let us have a better day overall.
Yep, absolutely. It gives you momentum to continue to make better decisions. And I like that you said it doesn't have to be like the full-blown, sometimes we're traveling, we don't have access to a gym. You've got some really good travel wads that you've shared with me. We can put that as a resource in here. But just sticking to the routine and keeping those things going so you have some momentum of doing the right things, so that, like you said, when you are with your family members, you can actually enjoy your time with your family members knowing that you did a lot of good things previously in the day.
Absolutely. It just makes everything feel a little bit better.
Cool. And then the fourth step is going to be getting some kind of accountability. So we're doing this little challenge that we call in the gym. I keep messing it up. What is it?
Surviving the Holiday Challenge.
Surviving the Holidays Challenge. We have this little calendar, and we're just making marks on the calendar for days that we work out and days that we eat real food and we don't do packaged and processed food. And for a lot of people, that's been great. Also, maybe reaching out to someone and having an accountability partner. That's useful. So like
Very
Colby's
useful.
my accountability partner for
That's right.
I'm trying not to have a drink of alcohol most nights during the week. And if I do, I usually have like a glass of wine or something, but I'm trying to keep away from that.
At least during the week.
At least during the week. And so when I get into that temptation moment, I text Colby and I'm like, brother, I really want to have a glass of wine tonight. And if he says,
No, don't do it. I'm not. Let's just make it to bed.
I'm like, I can't do it. So it really helps having some accountability. So accountability partner, a calendar. We have an SHT diligence tracker, which is really awesome. We'll have that as downloadable. I also sell those out of my office super cheap. I think we do it for like $2 or $3 for a big 11x17 card stock. So that's really useful as well. So just to summarize that whole process once again, get clear on what it is that you're trying to do with your health. Get clear on what it is that you want for yourself and how you want to look, feel, and perform, and how you see that future vision of yourself and what you want to accomplish, because that will give you some leverage to make the right decisions in those moments of weakness. Yep. Number 2, use tomorrow for today. So in those moments, think about how this is going to make you feel, or how making the right decision is going to make you feel, how it's going to feel going to bed and waking up the next day knowing that you did the right thing.
Yep.
All right. Number 3, stick to your routine no matter what. Stick to those things that make you feel good.
Yep.
Give yourself some momentum throughout the day so that if you do want to enjoy your time with your family, or if you do make a slightly suboptimal choice, at least you've got all those great things that you've done throughout the day.
Exactly.
Right? And then number 4, get some accountability, especially during the holidays. Find a partner, use our diligence tracker, get your own way of tracking successful days, and I think that can be really useful for a lot of people.
Totally. Yep.
Cool.
At the end of the day, all these are just tips. What are we really trying to do? We just want you to feel as good as you can in this really stressful time. That's why we're giving you these tips.
Absolutely. Yep. So as some bonus resources, remember we talked about keeping your stuff straight on the road. So we have some travel tips as far as what to pack in your cooler.
Yeah.
That's a bonus little downloadable PDF. And then we've got this whole packet of recipes that we put together. We got a lot of really good feedback on this recipe book. It's basically recipes for all the things that we would want to enjoy over Thanksgiving and Christmas, but things made with the right ingredients.
Exactly. Just try and avoid some of the toxic oils and stuff like that.
Yeah. So there's things that you can enjoy. They just need to be made with the right ingredients, and we give you a lot of ideas and recipes and resources for that.
Yeah, awesome. And we made some, and they're all delicious.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, great.
Traditional recipes for things that you might think that you have to avoid, but you don't have to at all.
No, totally.
So another great resource downloadable. And if y'all have any questions or feedback for us, just let us know. We're also going to include those travel wads that have been really useful for me that you've given me.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. I think that's about it.
We had some questions that came up.
Around conversations and stuff.
So they had a good thing. Like when you are with family and stuff like that, what Like
How do you navigate? Like, so say I'm going somewhere and I'm trying to stick to our way of eating.
Yeah.
And I'm at this, this family situation, and they've got a bunch of options that are not approved, but then there are some options that I can definitely partake in, and I want to make the right decision, but I also don't want to get in these debates. And like, how do you navigate that?
This is not the time where you want to try to get into a nutrition debate.
Yeah.
Right?
Or convince anyone of what you're doing.
Yeah, you're not going to make any change in these little 10 minutes. It's just not going to go anywhere. So we want to make sure we're productive when we do these things. So one thing is just not bring attention to yourself. I do this all the time. There's no reason to look at something that's on the table and say, I would never eat that.
Yeah.
Immediately brought all this attention to yourself. You're going to make everyone else kind of feel a little self-conscious. And there's just no reason. Dish your plate up, enjoy everybody's company.
Do what you're going to do without making a big deal about it.
Totally.
Like if I'm somewhere, I'm going to get the meats and the veggies and do the right thing, but I'm not going to say a whole lot about it. And even if someone really asks, it's like, I like what you said. What?
Yeah, I just said, well, now's not the time. Let's just enjoy it. If you'd want some more information, let's reach out and we'll set some time up to talk about this. Or I can give you some information to who I work with. And we also have a very, very good process of what we put people through.
Yeah. So they can understand how to do it properly and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's probably not the best time. So maybe the scenario is, you're there and someone's like, okay, so how come you're not eating this or something like that? And you're like, well,
yeah, it's just not what I'm doing right now.
And instead of getting into some kind of a little debate or something, just saying, we can talk about it some other time if you're interested. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. I thought that was really useful advice. So, a lot of little tips and strategies in these handouts as far as that stuff goes. So, what else? Anything else that we covered there that we didn't talk about today?
No, I think that's pretty much it. If you can just stick with these little things, I just like to reiterate again, we're just trying to help you guys. We just want to feel as good as we can, as often as we can.
Yeah,
that's it. And we know these certain things help us do that.
Yeah, and if you're going through the holidays and it's just like, you want to participate in something because it's special to you, like I've always brought up the little situation, like, if my sister's making my mom's ancient recipe, oatmeal, peanut butter, chocolate cookies, like I'm going to have a couple of those.
Yes.
But I'm not going to use it as a reason to go off and eat a bunch of junk and like Albertsons cakes and things made with toxic oils and all that. Like I'm going to partake in something that's wholesome, and then I'm going to get it right back on it.
Yep.
Because I want to feel great. And that's the bottom line. So enjoy yourselves, make the best decisions that you can, consciously participate in the process, use this little 4-step process that we outlined here, and then we've got these other resources that you can use. And if you got any feedback for us, let us know.
Absolutely, and reach out if you need some help.
Yep. Cool. Thank y'all.
All right. Enjoy it.
Later.
Have a good one.